Hello, welcome to this update. So let's see an update for the severe weather today in the US because there were some changes. So let's start the video with this simulation here that shows this high pressure near the southeast that's keeping things drier there, and the fire danger near Florida, and also this low pressure right at the plains that's bringing all those storms there. So like this we can understand very well. So let's start here with the warnings first. There's still the flash flood warnings, flood watches, and some flood advisories and river flood warnings still. And there's like some red flag warnings in Florida and also in New England in some spots there, and wind advisories. So be careful in those areas. And also some freeze warnings in New Mexico, in the mountains. So here there's like the red for flash flooding and the severe weather in yellow, and more general thunderstorms in the green, and some mixed precipitation still, and some snow in the mountains. There's day 2, some general storms in many areas and some mixed precipitation, and day 3 shows some more storms scattered. So there's this light risk of excessive rainfall today, and a marginal from Texas to Wisconsin, and this light from Oklahoma to Iowa, even to Wisconsin. So be careful those areas with flash flooding still, especially after the rain that happened yesterday. Day 2 nothing, but the ground will still be very wet from all the rain that happened, so still be careful. Day 3, a marginal in Texas and Oklahoma, spots of Kansas, and day 4 still a marginal in those areas, and day 5 still a marginal. So there'll be plenty of storms around those areas. There's still like some snow spots of the Rockies in the northwest. Day 2 still some snow in Montana, Wyoming, and more spots in Canada, in spots of Alberta, British Columbia. And day 3 vanishes, just a thing or two in Canada. And there's day 4, shows a thing or two in the Rockies. Day 5, day 6, maybe the northwest, and day 7. So yeah, be aware. But precipitation still shows mainly in the Midwest. So let's see, and shows here like in the Northwest as well. There's day 2, still some storms, the rest of this cold front, and the rest goes further northeast, more rain, some rain in the north as well. So let's see, day 3 still shows in Texas, and still shows day 3 in Texas, Oklahoma, into Kansas because of those storms. Day 4, more scared throughout the plains, those storms. Day 5, showing some interesting trends in Texas, some heavy rain. Day 6, still in the mid-south, the plains. Day 7 on the east and the plains. Day 1 through 7 still shows this big area of moisture and storms throughout the plains and spots of the south in the Midwest. So be careful. And there's here still some hazards for heavy rain and some flooding in the pink there. And there's like later on, day 8 through 14, still shows some wind and some heavy rain. So be careful those areas. But the main thing now is this enhanced risk is a little bit smaller than it was yesterday, but still a big enhanced risk, spots of Missouri and Arkansas. So does show this light from Texas to Illinois, and this marginal from Texas to Iowa. So be careful in those areas. And there might be updates throughout the day because like yesterday, the slight risk got extended until the northeast yesterday. So check the links in the description to see updates throughout the day. There's the main danger here, the tornado threat is still 10, 5 and 2%, but the 10% is now hedged for potential strong, close to EF2 plus tornadoes. So please be careful in those areas. There's wind 30%, 15%, and still the 30% dangerous as well. And there's the hail, just 15%. But please be careful, those tornadoes. There's severe thunderstorms expected today across parts of the Arctic into the Ozarks, mid-Mississippi Valley, mainly this afternoon and evening. The best quarter for tornadoes, some of which could be strong and scared numerous to damaging winds, should exist central northern access into Missouri. So be careful, those areas, especially the tornadoes, have plenty of ways to receive warnings. Tomorrow is kind of calm, just a few areas, a storm or two. Day 3 is interesting. There's this marginal risk from Texas to Kansas. Isolated severe thunderstorms are possible Tuesday in parts of the southern plains, so be aware Tuesday, but nothing crazy. Day 4 through 8 is kind of nothing still, but there'll still be storms in some areas, just nothing too crazy. So be careful. In the fire threat, there's 3 areas scattered around. One is in Florida, another in Minnesota, spots of North and South Dakota, and this one spots of the Northeast into New England. So be careful, some fire danger. Still in the plains for Monday, tomorrow, so be careful. And there's still those temperatures still warmer in the southeast, those higher pressures, and in the southwest still warmer as well. Even the plains, some areas, but at night there's these cold temperatures out west, some teens in the Rockies, some single digits as well in the higher peaks, and there's here in this area the temperature changes, the cold front there, and colder in the northeast as well, some 20s, 30s. So be aware. Tomorrow afternoon, much warmer. Monday, some 90s and 80s in the south, but some 70s in the plains as well. There's Tuesday, it's still very cold. The Rockies some 20s, 30s, and teens, even single digits in Montana and Wyoming, especially those mountains, some 20s, 30s in Wisconsin and Michigan. And still Tuesday afternoon, much warmer for half of the country, even more than half, and especially some 90s in Florida and California and Arizona, and even southernmost Texas. So some May is as well in the southeast, so be aware. There's Wednesday morning, warmer in the south, but still cold further north. There's Wednesday afternoon, a big portion of the country already 70s, some 90s in Florida and Georgia as well, and maybe South Carolina too, spots of California and Arizona as well. Some 70s scared about. There's Thursday morning, some teens in the mountains, 20s teens still, some 30s in the northern parts. There's Thursday afternoon, much warmer again, the southeast, southwest, and central areas. Friday morning, day 5, industrial, still some teens, 30s in the mountains, some 20s, and warmer in the southeast. Next Friday afternoon shows more some 90s in the southeast, some 70s and even some 70s in the northeast, the southern northeast. And Saturday morning, the 26th, shows some 30s, 20s, the mountains still, some teens and 20s, and still warmer in the south. And next Saturday afternoon shows still some 90s in the southeast, and 70s, 60s in central areas, 90s in the southwest. So be aware, especially in the southeast. So shows like this snow next 48 hours still spots of Montana and Idaho and Washington, Wyoming, especially even close to 6 to 8 inches in Wyoming, in some spots even to 10 inches. So be aware even more. And there's ice. I don't think there's any ice, but you never know. And there's just precipitation itself. The rain shows from those storms in Texas, Missouri to Iowa, even close to 1 inch, 2 inches in some areas, and the wind gusts will still be strong, especially there with the storms. In Missouri, but shows in the Rockies and a few spots as well, and in the Northeast, even Maine and New Hampshire, even just 50, 60 mile per gusts in a few spots. But this here is not the wind from the storms, it's just wind by itself. If you show the storms here, this would all be yellow and even higher. So yeah, be careful. And talking about storms, here we do have like in the GFS this shortwave trough, and there's some high wind shear because of that. Those areas So this could promote those supercells, the tornadoes there. That wind shear plus uh, the dew points that I'll show you in a minute. But there's the significant tornado parameter. The HER does show late this evening, uh, not showing much else, but here, especially in the afternoon, it's showing some higher parameters, like in the late afternoon spots of Missouri and Illinois, but especially earlier in the afternoon shows in Missouri the highest parameters, central northern Missouri. So be careful. Those are still shows later, but the herd's not so excited about Arkansas. It's showing more Missouri, but things can change. You never know. Some other models might have some different opinions. The Cape, the herd's not excited about the Cape either. Shows 1,000 joules per kilogram, because later in the evening shows already the front passing by and getting rid of the Cape. But earlier in the afternoon, we have the highest instability. But be careful in those areas. There's like the full run, the updraft holistic. Now it makes sense because now it shows some big cells over Missouri into Iowa as well. And but not, it's not showing much in Arkansas. And technically, the enhanced risk goes as far south as Arkansas, but the HER is more focused in northern Missouri. But just please be careful in those areas. That sounds like the main area for concern. So stay safe in Missouri and Illinois and southern Iowa and in Arkansas, of course, not areas. So be careful. There's here still shows those areas. The European later today, some 50, 60 dew points in Missouri, right where the low pressure is there, where the storms will be. Some 60 dew points plus that wind shear could make some good tornado conditions. So please be careful. And there were some big tornadoes yesterday in Texas, not so big, but there were some scary ones. So and the threat today is even higher. So please be careful. And there's the GFS and 50, 60 dew points as well. So stay safe in those areas. Be careful. There's still the rain next 5 days that shows especially in the south. The European has a lot of scared storms next week there with like 2 inches, even like 6 inches in some spots even to 5 inches. So be careful in those areas. The GFS is kind of different. It does have a lot of scared storms in those areas as well, but the drought in Florida is just worsening that high pressure. The southwest very dry as well. Next 5 days, but next 10 days, alright, it might have some rain further south, but that's too far. So yeah, be aware. Those areas, the model itself shows that big system there. This goes, those storms, the snow eventually Monday probably into northernmost Wisconsin, in Minnesota some snow, then it goes into Ontario with more snow there, and probably to Quebec as well Tuesday, and even further later. So be aware. And that show those storms maybe Monday, yeah, still shows a storm or two in Texas Monday, Tennessee, some spots there, but they don't have anything severe tomorrow. But there will be storms, so be careful. There's more Tuesday in the south, southeast, especially Wednesday in Texas. Wednesday might be an interesting day in Texas, and Thursday still some storms in the plains. The European still has plenty of storms later, so be careful those areas because those wind gusts are still very strong in the northeast because of that system there. So still shows even to 60 mile per gusts in Maine, some spots there Sunday. This goes and does show in the Midwest. Monday some 40, even yeah, in the low 40s mile per gust. Monday this goes, but later Monday evening does strengthen close 47 mile per gust and more spots the Midwest is still in the Rockies, even close to 50. So be our Monday, Tuesday, and finger two in the Northeast. But yeah, be careful with that system there now. Some stronger gusts as well. So this goes some winds near the west coast, and then this goes there. Does show still like by next Sunday, the 27th, some wind in the west coast and some wind in the plains, possibly in those areas. So Sunday still shows into next Monday, some more stuff in the plains. This like 1 week out, that's too far. But stay safe in those areas. There's still here like some snow, some spots there. Still shows in the 5 days until next Friday. Spots of Wyoming, some 8 inches, northern Utah, 2 3 inches, spots in Idaho as well, and Montana, especially Montana and Wyoming, some isolated spots to like 9 inches. So be careful. Even California to Washington, a finger or two, especially northern Minnesota into Wisconsin, some 5 and even to 8 inches. Be careful, there's the GFS in the UP of Michigan, even to 13 inches, another one in Minnesota, and the icon is like in the Rockies more, and it's not loading here, and more in northern Minnesota as well. So be careful, the snow in those areas, especially if there's wind as well, and this Wi-Fi is just so slow, but be careful. There's here like 5 days in eastern Canada still shows even to 38 centimeters. Spots on Newfoundland, more spots even to 41 centimeters, some more in Labrador. So beware 33, 30 centimeters in Quebec and Ontario, where that system will come, even to 29, 30 centimeters in Ontario. Be careful, and some in Quebec as well, especially in eastern Quebec, northern New Brunswick, northern Nova Scotia shows some, even a centimeter or two in other spots in Nova Scotia, and shows even southern Manitoba. The GFS has even more in Saskatchewan, southern Saskatchewan, and the European has more in Manitoba, more in Alberta, British Columbia. The GFS even to like 35 centimeters, the European to 17, and does have some snow northwestern territories in Yukon, the GFS some as well for northwestern territories, and some snow sprinkles in Nunavut and northern Nunavut more, and northern northwestern territories is an interesting place to look at. Shows even to 31 centimeters in the mountains there in British Columbia into Alaska. So be careful in those areas. And there's the HER for Alaska already shows the next day or so, some more snow. Here like some spots in the mountains to 8 inches, even 10 inches isolated in the mountains. So those Pacific systems are very snowy, a lot of snow. And there's the European 5 days, some mountains to 38 inches, 10 inches. In the north, some less than an inch, but also some close to 10 inches southwestern Alaska. So be aware. The GFS is kind of different, but more snow in general there as well. So be careful in those areas. And there's some wind here too that's affecting eastern Canada in those areas in Quebec, shows those strong gusts there. And the GFS like 77 km per gust, the European is 100, so it's a big difference in those models. But be careful with the wind, especially in eastern Quebec, spots of central eastern Quebec into New Brunswick, Nova Scotia. Sunday this goes, later tonight more Nova Scotia, especially central New Brunswick in eastern Quebec, into Monday in Newfoundland, more especially some spots close to 105, more spots in Newfoundland into Monday night, most of the island Monday afternoon and Monday night. So be careful, this goes and goes away. But still Tuesday, Wednesday, because this year's Monday night and Tuesday might still be some wind around and so breezy finger through the Great Lakes. But be aware, the Pacific is quite windy, just south of Alaska. So be aware. They'll show next a week from now, next Saturday and next Sunday in Quebec and Ontario, some wind again. So be careful those areas. And there's like that snow lingering spots of Canada. This goes and there's no around southwestern Canada, in the northwestern US until like Tuesday, Wednesday, and still those areas of central western Canada by Wednesday, Thursday. So be aware of that snow there and the storms and everything. And about storms, let's just see them a little bit more up close. So there's the her here, and it shows those storms there, especially like central. I think this is central. So this goes or still shows storms in Oklahoma, and later this afternoon, starting in Arkansas, shows that squall line there. It goes passes by, starts passing by Missouri. Some strong cells in that line, so be careful in Kansas, and then this goes later throughout the day. So be careful, especially some embedded tornadoes with that shear might be dangerous. So this goes and poof, but be careful. Those initial storms there will be very strong. So stay safe. It does have some cape, and this her here it's kind of, yeah, because the color scale is different, but that shows even close to 1500 joules per kilogram, and the cold front goes and sweeps everything out. But please be careful those storms, especially the tornadoes and everything. So stay safe. And further south, if you're watching from the Caribbean, still shows more showers next 5 days because that low pressure just swinging around there, leaving some showers. So some 37 millimeters, 38 millimeters, Central Caribbean more showers, and more spots in Panama, Costa Rica, some 100 millimeters, some 85 millimeters, 79, and Eastern Mexico still some showers there, storms, especially northern Mexico, might be stronger storms there because those storms are like more the US type, so be aware, northern Mexico, but that shows some storms, southern Mexico, some in El Salvador, some showers, so even to 50 millimeters, beware some showers the Bahamas, some lighter ones. In Cuba, some more, even Jamaica to 23 millimeters next 5 days. But this area, northeastern Caribbean, will be the most. We have the most showers, like 54 millimeters. There's the icon. Spots of the islands, especially 41 millimeters, 60 millimeters, Guadeloupe, more areas there. So be aware, those showers, there's here that area just swinging around and leaving that front, those showers there, and a few storms too, especially later next week into Friday, Saturday, Thursday. Be aware. Bermuda is quite fine, I think. There's that high pressure there, and long range might be something on the 28th, but be aware and stay safe. Just be careful those high temperatures in Central America, including Mexico, and possibly some spots colder during the night. But that heat is very dangerous, spots of Mexico and more spots. So stay safe, and if it's windy, it's also more waves. So be aware. Central Caribbean. It's not that windy, but does show today into Monday some high gusts in a few spots. Monday into Tuesday still in between the islands, some more wind. So be aware. Stay safe.